Here we are. The meeting is called to order. Oh, well, I think winter's trying to make a showing here, right? It's getting a little cooler out. So for people who enjoy the cooler weather, good for you. I prefer the hot. I'd rather be sweating than freezing, but that's just me. Um, just right. Yes, well, if I have my pick, like 76 is perfect, right? But I don't yes, not humid, yeah. I don't have a lot of sway in that, not a lot of sway. All right, well, let's do a little bit of breathing. So if you want to come up to the front edge of your chair, shoes on or off. I know the floor can get a little cold this time of year. Socks on or off. I don't see too many bare feet, but and for those of you who are maybe relatively new here, sometimes it's good to bring a towel to put under your feet because again the floor does get a little chilly. So, all right. So find your sitting bones. So those are the two bony bones at the bottom of your pelvis that we sit on. So see if you're leaning forward a little bit on your sitting bones, and the way you can tell is if you're leaning forward on your sitting bones, you'll feel more pressure in the backs of your thighs. And if you're leaning back a little bit, you might feel a little bit more pressure in your back. So you just want to kind of come to right in the middle there. Good. And then, oh yeah, we're all flapping. Okay, so let's check and make sure we got room to do this. Yeah? If you don't, just kind of negotiate with the people next to you. Make sure they're okay with you touching hands or whatever it is. There you go. Yeah, give a little shake there, right? All right. Okay. So we're back at our sitting bones, and now just kind of notice where your shoulders are relative to your hips. So are you kind of slouching forward a little bit? Have you gotten into this position because you think this is really good posture? Just see if you can relax your shoulders, let them be right above your hips, and then relax your neck a little bit. So start by pulling your chin in and back, almost as if you were standing up against a wall. You're trying to touch your head to the back of the wall, so it feels almost like you're making a double chin here, right? So you're kind of pulling back, and then go forward, and we'll go back and forward a little bit. So sometimes we don't realize this range that we have. We get stuck in one position, and we think, oh, this is my default. So just by checking forward and back, see if you can come to some place kind of right in the middle. It's a rough approximation. And then notice if your right ear is closer to your right shoulder or your left ear is closer to your left shoulder, and see if you can balance that out a little bit. So just by imagining, or you can even put your hands there and just sort of feel, if that's easier for you, just kind of feel, oh, is my right shoulder a little higher? Can I maybe get that down a little bit? Is my left shoulder higher? Maybe I can get that down a little bit. Okay, so now that we've made sort of all of these little adjustments, if it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, I'm going to have you do that this morning. Just closing the eyes just blocks off the external things that will capture your attention, right? So we just want to kind of close that off. And then turn your attention to your breath and notice the way air is moving in and out of your body. So the first thing to check is, are you able to breathe in and out through your nose? Or do you need some help, a little auxiliary assistance from your mouth? Maybe you need to get a little more air in or a little more air out by using your mouth. So let's see if we can maybe switch to a mostly nasal breathing. So that means if it's not possible for you to do completely nasal breath, you can definitely use your mouth a little bit. And then notice if your breath is fast or slow, if it's shallow, if it's deep. Notice if there's a sound to your breath this morning, or a shape, or a texture, or a color, or a word. So we all think about things, we all process things in a different way. Some of us see things more as colors. Some of us see things more as shapes. Some of us don't see them, but we feel them in a different way. So there's all different ways to experience your breath. And now we'll start to deepen the breathing so that as you inhale, you can feel your whole body filling with breath. And as you exhale, you can feel your whole body releasing the breath. So as you're having this experience of whole body breathing, where do you feel the movement the most? So again, with your eyes closed, it's easier to kind of process these kinds of internal inquiries. So as I'm breathing in, do I feel it more in my belly? Do I feel it more in my ribs? As I'm breathing out, do I feel it in my chest? Do I feel it in my belly? Maybe it's in the back of my body. Maybe I feel it in my shoulders. Maybe as I inhale, I'm feeling my shoulders rise up a little bit, and as I exhale, I feel my shoulders go down a little bit. So we breathe in 3 dimensions, and not everybody's experience of breath is going to be the same. So belly breathing isn't something that we all do. Chest breathing isn't something that we all do. We all have a unique experience of breath. So the next time that you inhale, I'm going to have you pause at the top of the inhalation and then take in a little more breath. So see if you can breathe in even more than you thought you could, and then slowly let it out. So we repeat that 3 more times. So when you breathe in, you're going to get to the top of what you think is your normal or natural inhalation. You're going to pause for a moment, and then you're going to consciously breathe in even more before slowly breathing out. And after you've repeated that 3 times, you can go back to your natural breath. Just notice the way air moves in and out. You can let your eyes gently open if they've been closed. But let's roll the shoulders a few times. So we're just going to roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and around, listening for any noise in there. Shoulders can be a little bit noisy sometimes. Let's roll just the right shoulder and then just the left shoulder. And then bring both shoulders up to your ears and hold them there. Excuse me. Holding for 5 minutes. Let's drop the shoulders. Sorry about that. Let's try that again. We're going to bring the shoulders way up. Hold and breathe. And then drop them down. Good. And one more time, we're going to bring the shoulders way up, way up, way up. Squeeze, breathe. And then drop them down. Good. Let's take the right arm. We're going to bring it forward and over to the left. And then we're going to make like you've got like you're pulling something. So you make like a little fist, and you're going to pull out to the right and then extend the arm and extend the hand. Right? So we're coming back. So we're going from left to right. I'll turn this way so y'all can see. So I'm pulling back, and then I'm going to extend the arm like I'm letting it go, whatever I'm pulling back there, right? So I'm going over to the left, pulling all the way back. Good. Great. And one more time. So we're going all the way to the left and back. Excellent. And let that arm come down. Take your left hand, go over to the right. So same thing. You're way over here to the right. You're grabbing something. You're pulling it over to the left. Bring it out behind you and then let it go. and then come back. So we'll do this 4 more times. Breathing in and breathing out. Doesn't matter when you inhale, when you exhale, as long as you're not holding your breath, and as long as your breath isn't kind of sticky, right? So you're not like taking a breath, pausing for a moment. I think this is 5, right? So last one here. Good. It's Friday, guys. It's been a long week. My counting is going to be off a little bit. Okay. So now let's take the right arm over to the left, and we're going to pull it across the body. So we're stretching that upper back a little bit. As you hold your arm here, I'm going to have you go back to your breathing, right? So I want you to breathe in and out, and I want you to see if you can send the breath right here into this right shoulder. So the back of the right shoulder. So as you inhale deeply, can you feel that part of your body expanding a little bit more than other parts of your body? So keep breathing. Keep sending that intention for the breath to be in that part of your body. And then you can release that arm. We're going to do the opposite. So take your left arm over. And as you breathe in and out, I want you to see if you can send the breath to the back of that left shoulder. Right? So as you inhale, inhale deeply into the back of the left shoulder. Now, some people might be feeling this quite easily. Other people might be saying, I have no idea what that's supposed to feel like back there. Because it's generally pretty tight for most of us. So this is more of an intention of where we want to send the breath, right? So we're going to try and get a little more movement between those shoulder blades here today. So breathing in, breathing out. One more time, breathing in, breathing out. See if you can send the breath to the back of that left shoulder. And then release that arm. Good. Take your hands and interlace your fingers, and now press your palms away. And as you do, as you press your palms away, visualize or imagine your shoulder blades are sliding off of your back. And I'm going to have you breathe into that space. So you're breathing into that space between the shoulder blades in the upper back. Again, it's a place that we don't often feel a lot of movement. You've got a lot of stability structures, what I consider stability structures there, so it's a little more challenging. And then release that. Let's roll those shoulders forward, up, back, and down a couple more times. Good. And then let's take the right arm, and we're going to just start to make some circles. So nice big circles. You can go forward or backward, doesn't matter. We're going to make sure we do both. So if you've got some limitation here with your shoulder, if your arm doesn't go all the way up, do the best you can. Go within a pain-free range. It might be uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be painful. And the next time your arm is down by your side, we're going to switch the direction of the circles. So nice, long, slow circles. Reaching that arm up and around. Good. And then let's go over to the left side, same thing. We're just going to take that left arm, sweep it up and around. And notice, does this arm move the same as the other arm, or is there a difference? So oftentimes we have a difference from one side to the other. Might not even be aware of it. Right? Okay, and then the next time the arm is down by the floor, we're going to switch direction. And the reason we want to wait till the arm is down by the side of the body in order to switch direction is because then your shoulder is in its most stable position. So you're less likely to get a little pinch or a little hiccup in that. So one more time, we're going to go up and around and down. Good. Let's take the right arm, and we're going to bring it out to the side like you're saying stop. So we're just kind of making the heel of the hand go out, right? Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to rotate, using the thumb as the guide, we're going to rotate the thumb down toward the floor and around behind you. And then all the way up and the other way. So again, you're still pressing out through the heel of the hand. So let the arm be strong when you're doing this. If having the arm up this high is causing any kind of a pinch or a problem here in the shoulder, bring the arm down a little bit. So this is about feeling it in the tissue of the arm. So you should be feeling something maybe in the forearm, in the upper arm, obviously in the shoulder. You might be feeling it in the hand, right? So the heel of the hand is out. Good. Couple more times, really rotating this. All right, and then bring that hand to the lap. We'll go right over to the other side. So same thing. First the strong arm, right? So the strong arm, you're pushing out. Heel of the hand is pushing out. Fingertips are reaching toward the ceiling. And then using the thumb as the rudder, we're going to go down and around and then up and back. Good. And as you're doing this on this side, notice if it's different than it was on the other side. If your shoulder's way up here, see if you can drop that down a little bit. So we don't want to create any kind of we want to create more space in the shoulder. We don't want to create more compression in the shoulder, right? Good. Everybody's got that, right? Okay. Relax that arm. Okay, take a breath. And then we're going to do both arms at the same time. So it's like you're saying stop. So keep the hands below the shoulders. So look out. If your hands are way up here, bring them down a little bit. Press out through the heels of the hands. Fingers are reaching toward the ceiling, and we're going to go forward and down with the thumbs and around, and then up and back, right? So breathe in and breathe out. And see if you can really bring this up into your back, your upper back and your shoulders. So as you round forward, see if you can take that rotation way up here into the top of the arm. And then when you come back, see if you can bring the shoulder blades together, right? So we got a lot of this movement. How we doing? Okay? This is not easy work, is it? Not at all. Okay, let's give that a little bit of a rest. Let the arms hang down by the sides. So with your arms down by your sides, close your eyes for a moment. And just notice what you feel in your arms, in your shoulders, in your hands. Taking a nice deep breath, let it out with a sigh. Okay, let's open the eyes. We're going to do one more with the arms out. I know this is a lot this morning. So you've got your hands out to the sides. You've got the heels of the hands pressing out, fingers reaching up. Now with your right hand, you're going to go forward, and with your left hand, you're going to go backwards. And then we're going to switch. Got that? So try not to bring your hands way up above your shoulders. Keep them down, right? Okay. And now let's see if we can get the body into this as well. So when you bring your hand to the right, up and around, you're going to twist to that right side. And then when you go to the other side, same thing. There we go. So it's like you're a dish towel. We're wringing out a dish towel, right? We're all like a big dish towel here. Or a little dish towel, depending on how big you are, right? So we're just squeezing and wringing that out a little bit. Now, can you feel that in your shoulder blade area? All right. So the next time you're over to one side, I want you to hold there. We're really going to squeeze all the water out of that dish towel. Doesn't matter which side you're on. We're going to get to the other side, so breathe as you do this. Whew. And then let's go the other side, same thing. So we're just holding here. Remember to keep the arms strong, so the muscles are really strong in the arms. We're twisting the body, we're wringing that out. And then unwind, let your arms come right down by your sides. Let them hang down, close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths in and out and notice what you feel now in your hands, your arms, your shoulders, your back, and your chest. There's a lot going on just by doing some of these little gentle movements and exercises. One more breath in. Let it out with a sigh. Open your eyes. Bring your hands up a little bit. And we're just going to do some movements for the wrists. So we started with the shoulders. We're kind of moving out to the wrists. Get the elbows in here a little bit too. Go the other way. All right. Let's do some bending and extending at the elbows. How are we doing with that? Right, so can you go all the way down and all the way up? Get your maximum range here with your arms going, straightening them and then bringing them all the way up. And then the next time that your hands are up on your shoulders, we're going to pause and bring the arms out to the sides so that your arms are parallel to the floor, and then we're going to extend and bend, right? So extend and bend. And going a little slower is good. The next time your hands are on your shoulders, we're going to hold here, and then we're going to go up overhead and down to the shoulders, and up overhead and down to the shoulders. Good, and breathe, right? So again, warming up the shoulders and the elbows a little bit here. One more time. Great, and then we're going to come all the way down, bend and extend. Just a couple more of these. Great. Okay, relax that, shake out your wrists and your elbows a little bit here, and then we're going to go right to the hands and fingers. So let's just start with some opening and closing of the fingers, right? How's that feeling this morning? How are those joints working? Stiff, a little stiff, right? Yeah, they can be, yeah, especially in the cold. So let's do some starfish hands. So we got the hands really, the fingers really wide. Your thumb and your little finger are as far away as they can be. And all the ones in the middle, they're not sure which side they're on, so they're trying to reach for both. So from your starfish, we're going to go to a bear claw. So you just kind of make that little like bear claw. And then we're going to go to a fist, right? So starfish to the bear claw to the fist, to the starfish, to the bear claw, to the fist, and breathe as you're doing this. And just notice, does that feel comfortable, equally comfortable on both hands? Is it equally uncomfortable on both hands? Are there certain fingers that are really good at doing this and other fingers that don't like this movement so much? Good. And are you able to breathe as you're doing it? Right? Okay. Next time you're in a starfish, you're just going to kind of hold here and breathe. Good. All right, let's see if we can take the thumb and the first finger together and then open. Thumb and the second finger together, open. Third finger, open. Fourth finger, open. Let's start again to the first, to the second, to the third, to the fourth, and one more time. First, second, third, and fourth. Good. Let's shake that out a little bit. All right, take your right hand, extend it out, or extend your arm rather, and you're going to pull back on your fingers and keep the wrist lower than the shoulder, right? So people tend to do this, right? So we're going to keep that wrist lower than the shoulder and push out through the heel of the hand. Good. And then let's do the same thing on the other side. So just pushing out through the heel of the hand. Keeping the elbow straight so you got a nice strong arm. And then we're going to take the right hand and bring the fingers to the back of the hand, right? So we're kind of pressing on the back of the hand, breathing in, breathing out. And then the left side, same thing. Good. Let's do this one more time on each side, okay? So we're just pushing on the back of the hand. And then we're pushing on the back of the hand here. Good. All right, let's shake that out a little bit. Okay, take your right arm out to the side one more time. And we're going to do the little gooseneck. You all know that gooseneck movement, right? So you just kind of come in and then go out. Breathing in, breathing out. Doesn't matter when you inhale, when you exhale. Good. Okay, one more time, in and out. And then we're going to go the other side. Right? Good. Okay. And then you're just going to bring your hand in, bring your hand to your lap, close your eyes, take a moment. So coming back to your arms, we're going to take the right arm out to the side. We're going to bring it all the way up overhead. We're going to bend the elbow, bring the palm of your hand to the outside of your face. And then up and all the way down. So we're going to do that a couple times, right? You guys know this, right? It's the telephone position, right? like the old telephone position. So a couple more of these. Going up. Good. How about last one, right? So on this right side, coming up and down. Great. Let's go the other side. So we're going to take the left arm up, bend the elbow. Good. So we're getting a little more movement now from the fingers all the way to the shoulder. How about 2 more of these? Great. One more time. Excellent. All right. Some of you know where we're going now, right? Right hand, first finger and thumb together. Yeah, this is the fun one. So we're going to bring that arm out to the side, go up overhead. See if you can come down and get that little circle around your eye like a spyglass. So the palm of your hand, your little finger is on your face, and you're right here. This is kind of tough to do, right? And come up and out. Let's try that on the left side. So first finger and thumb together, go out and up, bend the elbow. See if you can bring the palm of the hand to your face, right? I know it's confusing. It's like, no, this is way too easy, right? It should be hard. It should feel really hard, right? And up and around. And depending on your dexterity in your hands and in your arms, one side can feel easier than the other. So let's try that again. So right side, we're kind of going out, we're going up. We got a little bit of a spyglass here. Everybody's looking good. We're going to release that. Left side, same thing. Bending the elbow. Good. Yeah, it's a little more challenging on one side than the other, right? All right, how about both at the same time? We can do that, right? So binoculars. There we go. We all have our mask on, right? In one way or another. You guys look really funny. And then come up and all the way out. Good. Let's shake that all out. Shake out the shoulders a little bit. All right, we're going to do a little bit more work for the shoulders. We're not quite done here yet. So let's take the right arm. We're going to bring it behind the back. And let it rest sort of on the small of your back, so kind of right there. And then we're going to take the left arm, do the same thing. So you've got one, so you're going to have one arm on the top and one arm on the bottom back there, right? So just take note of which arm is on the top and which arm is on the bottom. Now notice if you're already leaning forward, see if you can come back upright so that your hips and your shoulders are kind of in a nice line. And then very slowly, see if you can walk your hands closer to the opposing elbows, right? So imagine you could get your hands holding your elbows back there. It's like I dream of Jeannie arms in the back, right? So we got the hands and the elbows together. Now with your hands and arms kind of interlocked in that way, what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and drop the chin to the chest. And then relax, bring the head up, relax the shoulder blades. So that's the whole movement. So I'm back here with my arms. I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together and dropping the chin to the chest. And then relax back to that kind of resting position. So we'll do that a couple more times. So squeeze your shoulder blades together, drop your chin to your chest. And then relax. And one more time, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, drop the chin to the chest, and hold. And breathe. And then relax. Good. Okay. Release your arms. Let them come back to your lap. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a couple of breaths in and out and notice. Okay, let your eyes open. We're going to take that left arm, go behind your back. Take your right arm, bring it over. And now you're going to grab the hands in the opposite way. So whichever arm was on the top should now be on the bottom. And if you're saying, I didn't check the first time, so I don't know which hand was on the top. If it feels normal, you need to switch. right? So it should feel a little abnormal, should feel a little weird. If you're leaning forward, I'm going to have you come back upright, okay? So we're sitting up as tall as we can like this. And once again, same thing. So you got your hands here, you're trying to crawl your hands closer to your elbows. If you can grab your elbows, and some of you might be able to do that, that's great. If you can't, that's okay too. So from here, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and drop the chin to the chest. And breathe in, breathe out, release. And again, squeezing shoulder blades together, drop the chin to the chest, breathe in, breathe out. And release. One more time, we're going to drop the chin to the chest as we squeeze the shoulder blades together, and we're going to hold here and breathe. And then release and come back to center. Good. Let's release the arms. Let your hands come around to your lap. Once again, close your eyes for a moment. Take some breaths in and out. Let your eyes gently open. Okay. So we're going to take the arms up in a W position, right? So it's like your elbows are a little lower than your shoulders, your palms are facing forward, and your arms are nice and strong. So this is the W position. And then we're going to go to the H position, which is up overhead with your palms facing one another, right? And then we're going to go to the Y position. So we're coming out here. Okay, so we're just going to spell that word Y. W, H, Y, right? W, H, and Y. And let's continue. So as you're doing this, see if you can move from your shoulder blades. So when you reach up, you're really reaching up with your shoulder blades. When you come out to the side, squeeze the shoulder blades together. When you come down to your W, squeeze your shoulder blades. So we're trying to get this movement to happen from the shoulder blades. I forgot how to spell Y. Here we go. Wow. You can't talk and do this at the same time. Okay, one more time. Excellent. So stay in your W. Got your W? Okay, so we're just going to do a forward with the W and then back. And a forward with the W and back. So that's the whole movement, right? Good. So this is some rotation in the shoulder joint. So if someone's got an issue with the shoulder joint, you might keep your W low. You can do your W nice and low. That's okay. So we're just trying to get a little more rotation in there. Good. Couple more times. Excellent. How about one more? Okay, and release that down. Good. How is everybody's shoulders feeling? Yeah? Are you nice and warm? We've warmed things up. Good. Let's take a break from the shoulders for a little bit here. So we'll give them a little bit of a rest, and we'll go down to my favorite body part, the feet. Let's look down there. Look at those beautiful feet, right? So keeping your tripods on the floor. So your tripods are the heel, the big toe knuckle, and the little toe knuckle. You're going to keep the tripods on the floor and lift up all your toes and then lower them down. That's all we're going to do. Lift and lower the toes. Lift and lower. And as you're lifting and lowering, you can look down and notice how your toes are lifting and lowering, right? So do you have space between your toes? Maybe you have space between some of them, but not all of them. Maybe you have one toe that crosses over or under another toe. Maybe your right foot and your left foot look really different. Maybe you've got some discomfort when you're lifting and lowering on one side or one toe or one part of the foot. So the next time everybody's lifted up, hold them up there and spread all the toes nice and wide. Now, hard to do in your shoes, a little easier to do in your socks, way easier to do if you have on toe socks or if you're barefoot. So you're keeping your toes spread nice and wide, and you're just going to take your big toes and lower them down to the floor and then lift back up. So not all the other toes now. It's just the big toes. The big ones, by the way, are the ones on the insides of your foot. Just in case you were wondering. Those are the big toes. So Bringing the big toes down and then lifting them up, and all the other toes are staying lifted. Sort of. Sort of. And then lift everybody up, and we're going to lower all the little toes down and lift, and lower down and lift, and breathe in and out as you're doing this. Good. And lift everybody up. Lift, lift, lift. And then see if you can lower them down, starting with your baby toe, with your last toes. Lower them down like you're playing the piano with your toes. So it's the last toe, and then the next one, and then the next one, and the next one, till you get to the big guy or gal. And then everybody's down, right? Now see if you can lift them up in the same fashion. So start with the big one, and then lift the next one, and the next one, and the next one, until you get all the little ones. Oh, you thought you knew all the toe tricks, didn't you? Let's try that again. Spread those toes out really wide. Start with the baby toes and lower them down one at a time. Like you're playing the piano very slowly with your toes. And then lift starting with the big ones, one at a time, lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. How about one more time? Because 3 is a charm. So starting with the little toes, go all the way into the big toes, and then lifting the big toes, going all the way out to the little toes. Okay, and then lower your toes down. Whew. So how many of you found it easier to go from the little toe in to the big toe? And how many found it easier to go from the big toe out? And how many thought it was equally lousy on both? That takes some dexterity, right? That takes some toe dexterity in there.
I can't do any of the other things, but that I can do.
Custom made just for you this morning. There you go. You're welcome. So toe independence is something that we have when we're born, and then we lose it because, quite frankly, we get put in shoes, right? So, we get into shoes, we lose that sensory input here, and we lose that neural connection with the foot. You ever look at like a baby, the first thing they do when you put a shoe on them, they try and take it off. Yeah, it's like putting earmuffs on, right? Somebody's whispering to you, and they're putting earmuffs on you. Right, at the same time, you're blunting the feedback into your feet. So we have to relearn this after a lifetime of wearing shoes. We have to relearn that connection between the toes and the brain. Being able to do that. Okay, let's get on to something a little bit different here. So keeping all your toes on the floor. So we've got the tripods down. We've got all the toes on the floor, right? Can you press down into just your big toes? So all the toes stay on the floor. Now this is a little different than what we've been doing. I'm mixing it up a little bit. So you've got all the bottoms of the toes. Can everybody feel the bottoms of their toes on the floor? Now if you've got one that's crossed over, you're not going to feel the bottom of that toe. Like if your big toe is a little crossed over, you won't feel that. But do the best you can to feel the bottoms of your toes. And now continuing to keep the contact of all your toes on the floor, I want you to press down more firmly into just the big toes. And then release that so that the pressure is the same. Right? Yeah. I love how everybody's looking at their toes. Right? It's like, hey, listen down there. So again, we've got the pressure in the bottoms of all the toes is the same. And now we're going to press just a little harder into the big toes. And then release that. So that's the whole exercise here. Pressure into all the bottoms of all the toes, and then we're pressing more into the big toe and then relaxing it. More into the big toe and then relaxing it. So we're not lifting the toes up at all. None of the toes are coming up off the floor. Notice if you're breathing. Try and take some deeper breaths. Good. One more time, pressing down into the big toes And then releasing. Good. Okay, let's take the right foot. We're going to slide it back and come into like a Barbie foot, right? So you've got your toes kind of, the bottoms of your toes are getting a nice stretch. The bottom of your foot's getting a nice stretch. So the foot has to be somewhere behind your knee. Some of us, it's going to be just a little bit behind. Some of us, we got to go way back. Doesn't really matter. Come up onto that Barbie foot. So it's like you're wearing a really big, tall heel here. And then bring that foot forward. Let's do the same thing with the other side. So same thing. Oh, I heard some toe cracking. That's good. That's good. Let's go back and do that right foot again. So nice Barbie foot here. Now you might notice your little toe. Is your little toe hanging out in space? Okay, so kind of angle your foot out to the side so that little toe gets the opportunity to stretch a little here. Little toes tend to curl under and then come back. A lot of that has to do with footwear. So our footwear is angled, usually our standard footwear is angled in, and that takes that little toe and pushes it under. Okay, and then let's go on to the top of the foot. So this is what I call the reverse Barbie foot. So you're basically taking the top of the foot on the floor and you're pushing down into that. And push a little more into the little toe side of the foot. And you'll feel that more in the outside of the lower leg. Now this is a part of the leg that can get very tight. And interestingly, this outer compartment of your leg has a lot to do with the control of your big toe, right? So it goes down and under. So the big toe is super important. All the toes are important, but your big toe is super important. And then we're going to bring that up and go to the other side. So same thing. We're just pressing down into the top of the foot. See if you can get more to the outside edge of the foot so you get that stretch in the outer part of the leg. Breathing in, breathing out. Everybody doing okay? Yeah. Is one leg tighter than the other? Are you noticing? Or one ankle, one top of the foot, right? So all of that. Let's go back to the other side. Yeah. Good. Take a couple more breaths. Excellent. Last time on this side. Good, good, good. Okay, and release that. Let's take the right leg out and we're going to tap the toes and the heel. So we're just tapping the toes and the heel. If you want a little more strengthening for your leg, don't tap. Keep your leg lifted in the air. If this is way too much on your thigh, you can just keep your foot on the floor. That's okay too. So we're just pointing and flexing. Good. And then let's bring that foot to the floor, and we're going to go the other side. Ooh, good one. Yeah. I like that. Okay, go back to the right. Let's circle around at the ankle. And reverse. Excellent. And then other side, circle at the ankle. And reverse. All right, let's come up to the knees. So sitting up nice and tall, hold on to your chair. And then we're just going to bend the right knee, bring the heel under you like you could kick the bottom of the chair, and then extend. So it's nice and slow. We're bending and extending. Bending and extending. Good. And breathing as we're doing it. All right. If you need a break, you can bring your foot out and tap your heel and then tap your toe. So the leg can get kind of heavy doing this work. It can feel heavy. And then the next time that you extend, we're going to hold it out there and see if you can rotate the leg in and out a few times. So now we're moving up to the hip a little bit. We got a little bit of hip work happening. Can you feel it way up into your hip where your leg bone comes into your pelvis? Good. And then bend that knee, bring the foot to the floor. We're going to go the other side, same thing, extend and bend. So watch that you're not like losing your nice upright posture. That's why the hands on the chair can be kind of helpful here. And you're going nice and slow. So as you bend, it's like you're trying to kick your heel into the bottom of the chair. And as you extend, these leg muscles are getting nice and strong. Good. Couple more. Okay, and then bring that foot to the floor. And I forgot, let's extend, yep, forgot the hip. Gonna rotate in and rotate out. As soon as I did it, my hip said, hey, wait a second. My turn, right, my turn. So in and out, good. Okay, now foot can come to the floor. So again, still holding on, especially if you have on slippery pants. We're gonna move the knees from side to side, kind of like we're skiing, right? So a little skiing movement, side to side. Good. And then back to center, feet come out, and we're gonna go in and out with the knees, right? So in and out with the knees. You can roll on the inside of your foot and on the outside of your foot. And then let's bring both in one direction, the other direction. Okay, back to center, scoot over to the right side of your chair a little bit. Let's walk this right foot way out to the side. So if you look down, you've got your heel underneath your knee. Your left heel is underneath your left knee with your foot facing forward. And we're trying to get, so from this position, if your left knee is at 12 o'clock, you want to have your right knee somewhere between 1 and 3 o'clock, if that makes sense. So with your leg like this now, you're going to engage the muscles in the outer part of the hip and the outer part of the thigh and pull that knee toward the back wall. And then relax it, right? So you can feel that. So do that a couple of times and notice, oh, when I relax my leg, my knee comes in. And when I engage those muscles, the knee really pulls out and you can feel it like kind of in your butt, in the side of your butt. So you're going to hold it there next time you do it. I'm just going to hold it here and breathe. So we're not going to let that knee come forward at all, but we're going to twist the body over to the left. Okay? So if you felt your knee tagging along behind you, unwind, pull that knee toward the back wall, and then twist over to the left. And breathe. There we go. And then slowly unwind. We're going to relax that leg. Let the foot kind of come forward a little bit, and then we're going to do that one more time. So again, push down into your foot, pull your knee toward the back wall, so you're engaging the muscles here in the outer part of the hip, the outer part of the leg. Keep that knee, don't let that knee come forward, and we're going to twist the upper body out to the left, and breathe in, breathe out. And unwind. Good. All right, let's walk that foot in and around. Go all the way over to the left side of your chair, scooting over to with your backside, and we're going to walk the foot out. So once again, we've got the heel under the knee, both the right and left. Now your right is at 12 o'clock, and your left leg should be somewhere between nope, it shouldn't. It should be between 11 and 9. Wow. Okay. Not my clock this morning. Okay. So let's pull that knee toward the back wall. So you feel the knee pulling toward the back wall? Good. And then relax that a little bit. So I just want you to feel those muscles engage, right? So for a lot of us, as we age, partly, but it's mostly our lifestyle, right? So if we're sitting more than we're moving, we lose some of these stabilizing muscles on the outer part of the hip. So we're going to hold that knee toward the back wall. So we're really actively engaging the muscles here in the outer part of the hip and the outer part of the leg. And then as you're holding that knee where it is, don't let it come forward. We're going to twist to the right. Breathing in, breathing out. Nice deep breaths here. Unwind and come back to center. Relax that leg for a minute so you kind of get to the feeling there in the side of the hip. And then one more time, we're going to pull the knee toward the back wall. And as you pull the knee toward the back wall, sitting up nice and tall, we're going to twist out to the right. Breathe in, breathe out. And unwind. Good. Let's take that foot. Let's walk it all the way back. Excellent. Let's cross the right leg over the left. Have your left heel underneath your left knee so it's nice and flat on the floor. Both hands on that top thigh. And all we're going to do is bend forward from the hips like you're trying to bring your belly button onto your knee, right? So you got to come out really tall with your spine really tall and then come back up. That's all it is. We're just coming forward like we're trying to get the belly button onto the knee and then come back up. Just a couple more times. Coming forward. Good. And our last time forward, we're going to stay here, hold and breathe. So we're staying here and breathing and thinking about lengthening your spine. Even as you're in a diagonal position with your spine is getting longer, right? So if you're looking up, if the back of your neck is kind of crunched here, bring your gaze down a little bit so the back of the neck is long. And then come all the way up. Excellent. Let's lean back and we're going to cross the other way. Okay, so we got the left on top of the right. Right heel is underneath the right knee, both hands on that top thigh. Spine is nice and tall now, right? So we don't want to come forward like this. We want to come forward with a nice tall back. And as we come forward, it's like we're trying to bring the belly button right down onto that knee and then come back up. So breathing in, breathing out. Yep. Good. Couple more. Excellent. And the next time that you come forward, we're going to hold here and breathe and lengthen. Lengthening the spine, even as you're in this forward position. And then come all the way up. Excellent. Uncross your leg. Bring your hands to your thighs. Bring your feet to the floor. Close your eyes. Let's take a couple of breaths in and out. So as you're inhaling and exhaling, I just want you to notice what you feel in your feet, in your toes, in your legs, in your hips, your knees, even into your back. And let your eyes gently open. So we're going to do one more little exercise here. We're going to involve the feet, but we're also going to involve the hands. So keeping your tripods on the floor, right? Those are the 3 points, the heel, the big toe knuckle, and the little toe knuckle. We're going to keep those on the floor. You're going to keep the palms of your hands on your lap, but what we're going to do now is we're going to raise all the fingers and the thumbs, right? And you're going to raise all your toes. Got that? So we've got the palms are making contact with the legs. The soles of the feet are making contact with the floor, but all the digits are lifted. The fingers and all the toes and the thumbs, because they have their own thing. Okay, so now we're going to lower everybody down. Same thing. Let's just go up and down a few times here. So you're not lifting your feet, you're just lifting your toes. You're not lifting your hands, you're just lifting your fingers. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. Next time everything's down, hold there. Let's see if we can lift just the right toes and the left fingers and down, and the left toes and the right fingers and down. So right toes, left fingers, left toes, right fingers, not the hands, right? Oh, yeah. People going, oh, I'm lifting the whole hand. Yeah. So it's the opposite toes, opposite to the fingers. Right? So if you're lifting your right toes, you're lifting your left fingers. Easy? Hard? Yeah. It's different, right? Okay. Let's lift all the fingers, all the toes. So the tripods are on the floor, the palms are on the floor, and now we're going to press down just the thumbs and the big toes. Everybody else stays lifted. Got it? And lift. So thumbs and big toes, and lift. Thumbs and big toes, and lift. All the other toes stay lifted. All the other fingers stay lifted. Right? So if your fingers are going down to your lap, you got to lift your fingers. I know. This is like walking and chewing gum. Right? Here we go. Let's make it a little more interesting. So everybody's lifted, right? So bring your right big toe and your left thumb down, but everybody else is lifted. And lift everybody back up. I know, I'll say that again, but I'll do it. We're going to go the opposite. So left big toe goes down, right thumb goes down, not the left thumb. And everybody's lifted. That's hard, right? It's surprisingly hard. right big toe, left thumb. All the fingers are lifted, so if the fingers are on your lap, you got to lift them up. Everybody's lifted. So all the digits are up. Now your left big toe and your right thumb go down and lift. Right big toe and left thumb. Keep all your fingers lifted. Keep your toes lifted. And lift. And then left big toe and right thumb. And lift. Holy smokes. Relax everything. Whew. That was interesting, huh? Yeah, it's that brain connection, right? It's not a lot of cooperation. Let's try it this way. So I'm just going to torture you for one more minute, I promise. So we've got all the toes down, all the fingers down, thumbs are down, big toes are down. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. They're relaxed, right? Lift just your thumbs and lower. Just the thumbs. That should be pretty easy, right? Okay, we got that. So can you keep lifting just your thumbs and lift just your big toes and lower? Right? A little harder. Not too bad. Okay. So now can we lift just the right thumb and the left big toe and down? And the left thumb and the right big toe and down. So right thumb and left big toe and down. Left thumb and right big toe and down. Oh, what are we doing? Right? What goes up, what goes down, right? Everything that goes up must come down. So you got everybody's down, right? All the digits are down. We're just lifting just the thumbs. Easy. Brain knows how to do this. Relax that, lift just the big toes. For those of you who've been doing this for a while, it might be fairly easy, right? Brain knows how to do this. Okay, lift the thumbs and the big toes, but all the other digits stay down. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Yeah, got it? You're in the groove, right? Okay, sort of. Okay, I'll take that. So now we're going to keep everything down. We're going to lift just the right thumb and just the left big toe. Right thumb, left big toe, and down. Left thumb and right big toe, and down. Right thumb, left big toe, left thumb, right big toe, and down. Okay, so just go opposites. It's just the big toe and just the thumb. Right? Those are the only digits, by the way, that have their own names. All the others are just kind of phalanges. Right? Thumbs are pollicis, and big toes are hallucis. So where are we? Any idea? Yeah. Relax all that. Whew. It's another way to try and get that connection going, right? Trying to get that connection going. So strength in the big toes or lack of strength in the big toes is a big indicator of falls. So we have to have strong big toes in order to move properly, right? So if you have a little arthritis in the toes, some of these exercises can help with that. Some of the stretching exercises can help with that. The biggest bang for the buck is going to be exercises that strengthen that big toe. So like getting into Barbie foot and pushing into the big toe. That's going to be super helpful for that. Getting the coordination is another piece of it, right? So using the thumbs and the big toes together to try and get in sync, in synergy with each other is also very helpful for that. So we'll do more of that. You know, we're gonna continue to work on this, right? Because it's always a work in progress. That's a good homework, yes. So for those who found this version of footwork a little easier, yay. If you found it a little harder, it's an opportunity for growth. Okay, so close your eyes for a moment. Let's take in a couple breaths. And if you'd like, maybe bring your hands together and just take a moment to be grateful for the opportunity to move your body this morning, to breathe, to interact with other people here, to have a little fun maybe. And then you can let your eyes open and maybe just acknowledge all these great folks that we're having some fun with this morning. Excellent. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. I'll see you all next week. You're welcome.